Hamjambo. Hamjambo. Mwaregai nyuma de. Yeah. Unaniza Magara dini wa mwadhani. Haiko tu aruku. Niko nyumbani jamani. Niko naanza kukaa hapa nikae forever. Asante sana young people. I did not expect this. Our boy. Demokeni mwana mdogo hapa. I didn't expect this. Hiya. Niko na pia ni kitu kidogo my friend. Hebu tupigie makofi. Thank you so much. My name is Omingo Magara. They used to call me James, but I stopped because the old women back home, they sometimes pronounce James EMBC, so like James. So I say, they call me Omingo Magara because I'm typically an African and a black man at that. So my name is Omingo Magara. I dropped James quietly. As my brother has spoken, I came into politics a while ago, in 2001, January. And I was baptized with fire. And me, I was elected almost dead in ICU. Navigating through Moi was not a joke, guys. I mean, Ruto is a joke, my friend. Ruto tapiraka nyumbani asubuhi. Under Moi, it was not easy. It was a brick wall. In the beauty mark, in the power, the judges here. These are my shades supposed to land on my head. I will not be able to tell the story. But by grace of God, I'm right here. And God has given me a life for a purpose, which is that this country must be better than it is today. I know most of you are young, and that's why it is important to know that you are the biggest stakeholders, and you can't afford to sit back for heaven's sake. And I'm begging you. But I also like the courage that I saw last year, 24th June. My friend, 24 June was a game changer. Even those ones who thought I was unshakable, but then I chose Marakada. And that was a Kihondo too. I'm here, courtesy of an invite given last minute by Honorable Anthony Kibagendi to represent him here on behalf of Fred Matiangi'i. So I'm a number 3 in the queue. You imagine? Can I be used to really? Number 3. Emwe Igereitato 3. But it's not about who presents it, but the message that I'm going to give you. So Fred, I think my brother is not here. He was called to team up with our president in Minnesota, US. So he asked me to come here. I would not have come because I'm a Seventh-day Adventist. You know, I should just go to church. You can imagine I stopped going to talk to God. I came to talk to you because I think even also God wants to save you from the pain you're getting through. So I came, I left church, nikasema hii ni muhimu kushinda ile nyingine. And as my brother said, kuna vingine nimeijua. Nilidanganywa, nikaambiwa kwamba unaweza kuwa treasurer wa UDA. Nilipoingia pale ndani nikasema mazee kule ni kubaya, kunoma. It's hot. And Honorable Achako told me, I got to know him 2 months into election. You knew him before he was elected. Nilisoma baadaye nikaona hiki mzee haishikani. Anyway, long story short, this country must change. And our boy, Nakati. Mnakuna najua kwa TV na warembesha mpaka unashindwa. Ni mrembo. Karibu wazi kuchora mistari na kumbe ni kuchora wenyewe. TV na gaya sana. So I was supposed to come here and then of course get the message of Fred Matiangi'i through Kibagendi, and I think it's worth it. Since those people who are opposing this government, we all need them to win. Now tusifukane mwingine hata mmoja. In fact, I often talk to my brother Shagwa, even when he's out there. We are trying to agree on how to liberate Kenya because I'm also a victim because I introduced you to UDA in Kisii in the voluntary by-election. So Kachagwa is convicted that he must also deliver us from where he dumped us. I'm equally guilty. And I share the same blame that we must work towards reversing the clock from where we are because we ain't headed in the right direction. So I'm here, and of course when we're talking about all those ones who are coming to team up with us, let's embrace them. But you know why? The beauty about our candidate, without talking about the negative, about the rest, I think he stands out. And trust you me, the warmth for his candidature came more from Mount Kenya than anywhere else. Am I saying something? Yes. So that's your president, my friend. And apparently, without looking at it realistic, fact, we come from a small community. We depend on delivery. So it's just okay, makosa, kiboko iko kwenu. Senior. So this is the best debate you need to have. But before I say my own things, and I may get into trouble because I must pass a message of, from our bosses. It is true that I am glad to be here today, and I think the best we need to do as friends is to make sure that our eyes are on deck. But let me say this. Our country, and this is what our brother would have said, we're at a critical time in the history of our country, truly unprecedented, and events such as those occurred that have never happened there before. The crisis we are in today of monumental magnitude requires extraordinary energy, tact, and resolve to overcome it. Our governance systems are truly not worth to mention. Corruption, human rights violations, the disregard of the rule of law, impunity, and constitutional issues, including building your house by force, which you do not be evidence. Impunity, extrajudicial killing, our boys are dying and girls every day. And do trust you me, the president of the Republic of Kenya does not even say sorry to the young people who are killed. It's just like you don't matter, your life don't matter. All these are matters to be fixed, and now, so that we can equip you, our children, and our children's children. Otherwise, we are a worth nation. Otherwise, Kenya will not be the same beyond this gentleman in leadership today. The impatience and panic that this gentleman has gotten into in power was witnessed last Sunday when we were in Muranga. And invited because I believe in the cause. I said I want to go to Muranga so that even when our principals are not here, we don't sit back and wait for them to action. I went to Muranga, live experience. They were determined to eliminate it. You imagine 11 live bullets, 6 illegalia ya sound, 3 Kogaria, Victor Munyaka, MP for former Machakos, Victor Munyaka. His Range Rover was destroyed with 3 bullets. Honorable Jamla Kamau, 2 were loaded in his vehicle. Live bullets, and our pictures here can show you. That's the date of desperation that they have. But I can tell you, wakati ng'ombe imefika kupata ndama, hata ufungie kwa crash uweke mbao X, mpaka ndama itoke. Hallelujah. Now, having talked about our brothers, of course, whom we share with, and because as I told you, it calls for concerted efforts for our president to win. And I'm persuaded each one of you must embrace your brother as your own brother's keeper. That's the only way they can feel warm to you and extend their hand. Each one of them has a value, but I can promise you, our candidates got move appealing values that we can stand for, and of course that affects our nation. For example, an ICT. The naysayers were saying, you cannot migrate, boss. You're joking, you're a daydreamer. Did it happen? Did it happen? Did it happen? People migrated from analog to digital. Right? Number 2, as the Minister for Education, people who get grades are those whose fathers are deep pockets. Buying grades. And therefore, a poor guy who's brilliant can produce a beautiful career in medicine is to take the back burner, and an incomplete Cerelac baby is put in there. That's why of late, they operate and leave some pambas in the surgical wound. They don't know because they are pushed into it. They got their degree by buying. Matiangi'i said, I must bring integrity to the education sector. Did it happen or didn't happen? In the Ministry of Interior, Fred did actually sanitize the security sector. And I'm sure my brother, I call it Kenyatta. Yeah, and some of them, he worked under him. Up to almost eliminating terrorism by giving them, firmly and decisively. We build a position that happened. So we have a candidate, we can really work out. What is this agenda for all of us as the young people? We need our young people secure and their expressions matter, and they are not criminalized and called terrorists for the fact they're asking for their right, and it's not his right, but given the Constitution. People have talked about jobs. We're supposed to create jobs here. I saw TikTok, and my brother here is very good at TikTok. I saw a TikTok video where somebody was talking about a pathological liar, that he has delivered 400,000 credits to Maju, at Gas Maju. Right? And somebody was analyzing every 500 every day, meaning from JKIA we have 2 planes loaded with all our young people. Remember, at independence, the forefathers had this dream. Kuondoa ujinga, umaskini, na nini ngine? Na magonjwa. Tell you what, today, because of the environmental credit, courtesy of graft, Wheezy, Villa where now our young people are so desperate, they're enslaving themselves. You know, we were being taken from here to Europe for slavery, isn't it? This is the courtesy of the environment we have created, and some of us, I am not innocent, I can say because I'm part of that gravy trade, but I can tell you, we fought when it lasted during our time. But as Madam said, you have a lot of good energy, you have the networks, you have the knowledge, you can conquer this mountain. It is possible to do it. So instead of now, people taking us by force to slavery, now we are enslaving ourselves to Dubai. And then the humanizing environment where our children go to Dubai as house girls alone, if you can't accept it be done to your system. And we celebrate, we're exporting jobs out. It's only a madman who can do that. Of course, you say 400 and they are not there. Now, the sports and culture. Now, Usani, today, the young people are actually creating content. I called one of them to help me market digitally my business. I do, kazi yangu ni ng'ombe tu. Kuchunga ng'ombe, kama ule ndugu wangu anachunga ng'ombe anapata maziwa. Na maziwa atasipata pahali ya kuuza, because wameenda Uganda kuleta powdered milk, wanasafiri kwa economy, cases cannot sell milk, and therefore they can't have money to pay us. This guy was suffocated from every corner. Hallelujah. Shetani afanya nini? When I called them to do that digital marketing, they told me, you gave me a 5,000 and then give me another 2,000, because now I've now realized that VAT has been planted on my knowledge that I used without anybody supporting me. So when it becomes expensive, in the consumption rate becomes lower, then this guy cannot make money. There we are. Now, how can we work together to ensure that our president wins? I am also trying to help you guys. Maybe ni mtu ya mambo samana, but to support the environment, I must also try to pretend to be techno service. But you guys are out there. We need to create digital awareness. And yani squeeze mambo ni mtandao. That's why you can be pulled down kwa mtandao. The other time, Bishop, the Catholic Church in DC, did make a very serious mistake by supporting William Samoei. Alikuja kwa madhabahu, hata Mungu hakumsaidia mtu wa Mungu. Man of the cloth. Everybody don't help him. Mlimtembelea. Hata nyinyi mazenda nyinyi, hata nyinyi mtembelea juu. Akasalibika. He had to come back 3 days later. Akasema I can't have sleep. Why? Digital power. Huyu mzee akiongea mambo ya kizi, you can't touch them when it is content that is resonates well with the people in society. My friend, you can't target the person is talking against, because anakuitia picture, unaona kama kweli ni shetani unatembea naye. Who cannot sleep? These days I'm told akienda tena usiku ukikaa ya kunywa pombe anakwambia hata unaenda, so anataka naye makazo. So ukitoka kwa nini unaenda na kujua kama na wewe unaenda kama wale wengine, I don't know whether I'm going to again. So you can't see. So digital marketing, make it happen. X, you know, you're my body, my job, you're being focus on voter registration, participate in helping our young people get take votes. And when it happens, you must patronize polling stations. Na alafu akishinda na kula 1,100, akipata kula 1,100, hata kama tumeshinda tutamuuliza ulitoa wapi? Shau makoishi. Isi twende hizi shau mako. Because in Kisi, he did a survey 3 weeks ago, yeah, 2%. 2. She got nothing. So that's where we are. How to support brother to be able to win is about digital marketing, focusing on registration and grassroots mobilization. What you have started? I did not know it's that big. If this is the starting point, I can tell you, is this a hurricane? Yani, sisi ya kwanza hii, na imeanzia hapo kwenu. Wakisi msipeleke ujumbe nyumbani. Kutoka mnapata mgodo nyumbani. You don't take the message home. Watu wamejipanga mapema boss. Na nini mnapewa? Alafu mnangelia. Na tena wanasema ati atubaki one time. Atubaki one time. Wanasema uko na watu wanataka kuwa president. Alafu wanasema utaki one time. How can you be president or your candidate be president if you don't want to go to one time? I mean, that's a bit logic. So we're saying we need to then do that bit of awareness, alafu tufanye kazi sana. Kitu kingine, in conclusion, manage misinformation, because people can destroy your character through social media, but you can counter that with a lot of ease. And if you have so many keyboard warriors like I know all of you are, nikipigwa mtaniambia mtu mtasaidia nitamtumia report anisaidie because I cannot manage. Now in conclusion, the coming general elections will define and reshape our common future. You, the young people, carry the biggest responsibility in the joy of our success and the biggest pain in case we fail. Because we shall suffer immeasurable pain for the longest if we don't succeed to pick leaders who suits our being. What I'm certain about is that the current administration can't and will never give us the future we deserve, and hence they must fall. We are not just the future, we are the present. In 2027, we have a chance to elect leadership that reflects our energy, our integrity, our dreams. Dr. Fred Matiangi'i stands for discipline, accountable, and progressive Kenya. Let's rise, let us organize, let's win together. I realized friends of Matiangi'i, I was actually confused. Friends of Matiangi'i also, in the initials, is Fred Okengo Matiangi'i. Me, I don't know, is that? They get to Nigeria, I got some form. Fred Okengo Matiangi'i, friends of Matiangi'i. You see how God has acted here in his favor, and I'm sure we should be able to succeed. Finally, I know their concerns. One, you are looking for Matiangi'i, and I'm now, I guess, off the cup, because I finished the statement I was supposed to give. You're looking for Matiangi'i of interior. Yes. The forceful guy who is out there and saying it has to be done. Let me persuade you also. We are trying to motivate him because he must be able to impress the rest on board with firmness and fairness. He has also tried to not because he doesn't want to join the other leaders, but first of all to pick a national profile so that you don't look like you are a localized person, because again, as I said, individually you cannot win. So the Matiangi'i are looking at, of course, through the statements he has made, he has come as a statesman and a diplomat and all, and all that concerns you. I can tell you sometimes you need to make a retreat, you kind of do a strategic withdrawal, a strategic Strategic withdrawal for strategic attack. Am I saying something? You withdraw and step back and the party is time. So people must now say, he is a president, yes, he was having something to power, yes, but now he is looking for a vote. I can assure you this one's looking for vote. Anybody will look for something to pull you down. Particularly ladies, when they're trying to look for votes, they are concerned that who are you married? And they don't ask people who are married to. The prejudices, of course. That's what they will say, oh, so as I'm going to begin before to build another guy. So sometimes you to show inclusivity in on deck, then when you get, at the right time, you also punch. Sometimes it gets to a point now when he's got that mantle and he's facing Ruto, Omundu, then the Matiangi'i must come out. So, for now, we want him to endear himself to all other Kenyans who may have a different perception about him, that I can also be a father figure, I can also be a friend, I can also be a woman now. Lakini tukifika mambo ya Sagana, Uhuru, moja kwa moja. Finally, so right now, ninawashukuru sana. Na nawapenda. Na nimefurahi. Wamboi. Kathy, I have been watching you more often now. You know, sometimes familiarity in a clear board. I'm a joke. I'm going to leave.